Welcome back to Exposure Stories. Charles Pol, the son of Jan Pol, has lived much of his life in the public eye thanks to the enormous popularity of the TV show The Incredible Dr. Pol. While millions of fans know him as the humorous, hard-working producer who often appears beside his father on the show, there is another side to Charles's life that many viewers rarely see. Behind the laughter, family banter, and heartwarming veterinary stories lies a journey shaped by hard work, emotional struggles, and a devastating family tragedy that deeply impacted the Pol family. Charles's story is not simply one of television success. It is also a story of resilience, grief, and unwavering devotion to family. Born on March 6, 1979, in central Michigan, Charles was adopted as a baby by Dr. Jan Pol and his wife Diane. From the very beginning, his life was far from ordinary. He grew up surrounded by animals, farms, and the constant activity of his father's veterinary clinic. While most children spent their afternoons watching cartoons or playing sports, Charles spent his time helping with chores, feeding livestock, and observing veterinary procedures. Farm life shaped his personality early on. It taught him discipline, responsibility, and the value of hard work. The environment was often chaotic, muddy, and exhausting, but it also gave Charles a unique upbringing filled with unforgettable experiences and a deep connection to animals and family. Living with a veterinarian father meant there was rarely a dull moment in the Pol household. Emergencies could happen at any hour, and Charles often witnessed his father rushing out to help sick animals regardless of weather conditions or exhaustion. Those experiences gave him admiration for his father's dedication, but they also showed him how demanding the profession could be. Although Charles appreciated the veterinary world, he realized as he grew older that his own ambitions pointed in a different direction. Rather than becoming a veterinarian, he became fascinated with storytelling, entertainment, and television production. He loved making people laugh and enjoyed creative expression, qualities that would later define his career. After graduating from high school, Charles pursued higher education at the University of Miami, where he studied communications. Moving away from rural Michigan was a major transition. For someone raised among barns and farmland, the fast-paced atmosphere of university life and big city culture was entirely different. Yet Charles adapted quickly. His education helped refine his storytelling abilities and introduced him to the technical side of media production. More importantly, it confirmed that his future belonged in entertainment rather than veterinary medicine. Determined to break into Hollywood, Charles moved to Los Angeles after college. Like many aspiring producers, he started with internships and entry-level work, learning the entertainment industry from the ground up. During this period, he had opportunities to work with respected names in the film and television world, including Sidney Pollack and Edward James Olmos. The experience was invaluable. Charles learned how productions were organized, how stories were crafted, and how to manage the countless challenges that occur behind the scenes in television. The transition from Michigan farm life to Hollywood was not easy, but the strong work ethic instilled in him by his parents allowed him to persevere. Despite his ambitions in Hollywood, Charles never lost connection with his roots. Over time, he realized that the extraordinary life he had grown up around could itself become compelling television. His father's veterinary practice was unlike anything viewers had seen before. Dr. Pol's straightforward personality, tireless dedication to animals, and rural lifestyle created a combination that felt authentic and relatable. Charles recognized the potential immediately. In 2011, he pitched the idea for a reality television series centered around his father and the veterinary clinic. National Geographic Wild embraced the concept, and The Incredible Dr. Pol was born. The series quickly became a massive success. Audiences around the world connected with the Pol family's warmth, humor, and dedication to animal care. Charles played a crucial role in shaping the tone and direction of the show. As executive producer, he worked tirelessly behind the scenes while also appearing regularly on camera. His light-hearted personality and close relationship with his father added charm to the series. Through Charles's vision, viewers were given an authentic look into rural veterinary medicine, complete with emotional moments, unpredictable emergencies, and family dynamics that felt genuine rather than scripted. As the show's popularity grew, Charles experienced many joyful milestones in his personal life as well. In 2018, he married Beth Oakes, a longtime family friend who had known the Pol family for years. Their relationship felt natural and deeply rooted in friendship and trust. Fans of the show celebrated alongside them, delighted to see Charles find happiness with someone who understood his background and values. The couple later welcomed their daughter Abigail in 2019, followed by a son in 2021. Fatherhood brought Charles immense joy and gave him a new perspective on life. He embraced family life wholeheartedly, balancing the responsibilities of parenting with the demands of producing a successful television series. However, amid these happy moments came a heartbreaking tragedy that changed the family forever. In September 2019, Charles's brother-in-law, Adam Butch, died unexpectedly at only 23 years old. Adam was the son of Charles's sister Kathleen and was deeply loved by the entire Pol family. His sudden death shocked everyone close to him. For a family known publicly for warmth, humor, and positivity, the tragedy was devastating. Adam had been a regular part of family gatherings and shared a close bond with many relatives, including Charles. Losing someone so young and full of potential created enormous grief within the family. The pain of Adam's death was especially difficult because of how unexpected it was. One moment he was part of the family's everyday life, and the next he was gone. Such sudden loss often leaves families struggling with unanswered questions, overwhelming sadness, and emotional exhaustion. Although the Pol family chose to grieve privately, fans could sense the heartbreak behind the scenes. The tragedy reminded many viewers that despite their fame and television success, the Pols experienced pain just like any other family. Charles was deeply affected by Adam's passing. Known for his calm demeanor and sense of humor, he suddenly found himself helping support his grieving family while coping with his own sorrow. He became a source of strength for his sister Kathleen and others in the family during an unimaginably painful time. Even while managing the emotional burden, Charles continued working on the show and maintaining responsibilities at home with his wife and children. That balancing act between grief and responsibility was incredibly difficult, yet it highlighted the resilience that has defined much of his life. The tragedy also appeared to strengthen the bonds within the Pol family. In times of profound loss, families often either drift apart or grow closer together, and for the Pols, the latter seemed true. Their support for one another became even more evident. Charles leaned heavily on his wife Beth, his parents, and his children as he navigated the emotional aftermath of Adam's death. While they rarely discussed details publicly, their unity spoke volumes. Fans admired how the family maintained dignity and compassion while grieving privately. In the years following the tragedy, Charles continued focusing on his family and career. He poured energy into his creative projects and remained committed to making the incredible Dr. Pol meaningful for viewers. Though he rarely speaks openly about personal pain, many people believe his experiences gave him an even deeper appreciation for family, connection, and resilience. Through his actions rather than words, Charles demonstrated that healing does not mean forgetting loss. Instead, it means continuing forward while carrying the memory of loved ones with you. Fame has also brought its own pressures into Charles's life. As a public figure and executive producer, he has dealt with criticism, online rumors, and controversies surrounding the show. Some viewers and veterinary organizations have questioned certain practices depicted on television, leading to public debate. Navigating these controversies required patience and professionalism. Charles has consistently worked to protect the authenticity of the series while balancing audience expectations and criticism. Life in the spotlight can be exhausting, especially when combined with personal grief, but Charles has remained remarkably steady throughout it all. Today, Charles Pol's legacy extends far beyond reality television. While he helped transform his father into an internationally recognized television personality, his own journey stands as an example of resilience and determination. He successfully bridged two completely different worlds, the rural farming life of Michigan and the competitive entertainment industry of Hollywood. More importantly, he has remained deeply committed to his family despite personal tragedy and public pressure. At his core, Charles's story is not simply about fame or television success. It is about perseverance through heartbreak, loyalty to family, and finding purpose even after devastating loss. The death of Adam Butch left an emotional scar that will likely remain with the Pol family forever, but it also revealed their strength and closeness. Charles's ability to continue supporting those around him while building a loving home with his wife and children speaks volumes about his character. For fans who have followed the Pol family for years, Charles represents more than the witty producer seen on screen. He represents resilience in the face of pain and the quiet strength required to keep moving forward when life changes unexpectedly. His journey reminds people that behind every successful public figure is a deeply human story filled with struggles, love, grief, and hope. Thanks for watching.